welcome to another video, and this is my third attempt at making this video. The first time I kind of went off track and I thought that, you know what, let's just restart. I restarted that and then I got interrupted by a phone call, because I'm recording this on my Mac, and now the Mac, my iPhone, it's all just linked. So God bless seamless connectivity of Apple products. Alright, so welcome to another video again, and this is 27th of December, and I'm recording here from Sydney, and it's been really warm for the last few days. For us, it's unusually warm for the December month. So it does get really hot for us here in Australia, but not until January. Like, this summer has started quite early this time, so we're dealing with that. But anyway, right. So before I move on, before I get started, a belated Merry Christmas to everyone watching this video, and I hope you had a great Christmas. I had a wonderful Christmas this year, and for the first time, I actually set up a Christmas tree in my apartment, and it looks fantastic. It's a mid-sized Christmas tree, and for my little apartment, it's incredible. It looks great. So I'm very happy, and yeah, I've had a great time. I love celebrating Christmas. I always have, and this year was just a bit more special than the year before. Even though the year 2023 in general, for me, has not been the best. And I'll talk a little bit more about that in this video or in the next few videos. But yeah, all that aside, so hope you've all had a lovely Christmas and looking forward to the New Year celebration and all. So, alright, cool. So in this video, I'll try to keep it short. I know I always say this in all my videos, but I mean, this time I'm really going to try and keep this short, and I'll just try to cover certain aspects of this year, try to provide a high-level summary of what this year was like for me, and discuss some of the aspects of it, things such as what worked, what didn't work, what was good, what was not good, so on and so forth. So I probably cannot cover everything in just one video, so I'll try to I'll see what I can do for this video. So yeah, bear with me. Alright, so as I said before, 2023 was not the best year for me in terms of my career and even my personal life. There's been way too many ups and downs. It's almost like I was expecting the graph to sort of the curve to stabilize, to sort of plateau, but this was not anything but a plateau. The curve for the graph of my life was just maybe this year. Hope that makes sense. Anyway, yeah. So yeah. So first and foremost, let's just start with some of the good stuff, and maybe one of the good things that I'd like to touch on that I've spoke about in one of my previous videos is that for this year, in terms of work, being assigned to a different project was really was quite valuable to me, in the sense that I learned a lot. I learned a lot about fintech. I learned a lot about banks. I learned just how big it is, just how many disparate entities there are within this organization that I work at. It's huge, and the amount of different teams, there's so much tech, and we have subsidiaries, and there's just so much. There's so much going on. Like there's .NET, there's Java, there's NodeJS, there's React, there's jQuery, there's Backbone.js. Oh my God, there's just a ton of stuff. There's like low latency trading systems, payment gateways, credit card servers, so on and so forth. I mean, it's a financial organization. So everything that you would expect from a fintech, a financial technology company, you have it here. So there is a lot, and I did get the opportunity to interact with a whole bunch of people, and I must have spoken to upwards of 150 people working in the bank through the year, maybe more. Yeah, I already said upwards of 150. Yeah, and people at all different levels. So we're talking like head offs to chief engineers to support staff to junior engineers, so on and so forth, just everyone. So this was a great experience. So that was one of the good things. The bad thing was that, well, it is what it is. I mean, it's a big organization, and like all big organizations, there is a lot of politics, a lot of politics, and that's something that I've learned about all of this the hard way. Uh, Now the question is, the question is, am I going to continue, or am I going to resign? And if I were to resign, or if I were to continue either of those two things, how am I going to continue? Am I going to burn? Actually, burn is not the right word. Am I going to annihilate or obliterate or burn the bridge, or just carry on? Because being at a senior role, one of the things that I've realized is that being at a senior role and being the person I am, I'm fairly transparent, because I haven't spent the rest of my life, I haven't spent my entire career in this type of organization. I've spent a majority of my career in startups, and in startups, tech startups, people value transparency. People value the ability, they value how easy it is to talk to you, how approachable you are. Yeah, except it didn't quite work like that here. So I've been on the receiving end of the politics, and uh, I found that I'm a scapegoat on more than a few occasions. When things don't go according to plan for whatever other reasons that may be, I'm the person that's targeted. I'm the one that's scapegoat. And this time, it's just that I've got evidence to prove otherwise, that it wasn't my fault, or it had nothing to do with me. So that's all. So it's just a matter of like, am I going to continue on, or am I just going to, you know, burn the bridge, annihilate the bridge? Let's see. I haven't made up my mind, so that's something that I'm going to spend use. That's something for which I'm going to use the time that I have this holiday to just sort of evaluate and consider the trade-offs, the pros and cons, and then make a decision. Now, the other thing, one of the other good aspects of things about this year was that so after well, I finally have my driving license. So for the last 20 or so years, I haven't driven. I don't drive here in Sydney, and it was a personal choice. I just didn't want to. I don't like cars. I just didn't want to. And fortunately for me, all the places where I do live is close to public transport, and I work in a fairly accessible office, so it's just easy to get to by public transport. So that's something that I've always, been firm on, that I'm not going to drive. However, this year, as I'm trying to focus on I'm trying to plan a future focusing on other aspects of my life than just career. Driving would be important. For example, if I were to live in an independent house, it would most likely be in a suburban place. So it would most likely be in the suburbs, so where you need a car to get around. So yeah, I did get my driving license. I obviously failed my driving test a couple of times. It was bad. It was amateur hour, really. I mean, I seriously hated myself for that, and I was obviously being too harsh on myself. But then I realized, well, it's not really the case. It's just that I just haven't driven in the last 20 years. I haven't touched a car in the last 20 years, because I've just stayed away from cars for various personal reasons. So Obviously I will talk about that, but maybe in a different video, because that just it goes back the last few years, maybe at least the last 10 years, and certain events in my life which solidify why I don't like driving or why I don't like cars per se. But we'll talk about that in a future video. But yeah, that was getting my driving license was one of the good things. Failing my test a few times and getting frustrated was obviously not one of the good things. But when I did get my license, I had reached a point where I've actually driven quite a bit with many different cars, and to the point that I was fairly comfortable being on the roads and going no matter where, and including at all times of the day. So that was one of the good things. Now, one of the bad things that I would have liked to focus more on. What did I say? Bad things. One of the things that I would have liked to focus more on, and I didn't get a chance to do so, was my open source coding. I mean, I did make significant contributions to GitHub, but it just wasn't as consistent as I would have liked it to be. It was very sporadic. It was very how do I put this? It was just very sort of almost periodic, and it was like just many different intervals. Given everything that was happening, all the frustration and all the pain that I was going through, both in my personal life as well as in my day job, that just made focusing on all of this significantly harder. So this year, that was something that I would have liked to do more of, and that's a lesson that I learned, and I hope to be a bit more organized and plan better in the new year in how I contribute to open source, because that is very important and I value that a lot. Everyone is a good engineer, everyone's a well-paid engineer, so on and so forth, but not everyone contributes to open source. So long live open source. Individually, we're all smart, but together, by sharing code, we get smarter, and that's always been something that I believe in and something that I want to continue focusing my efforts on. So I think that should be all today, and this video has gone over to 12 minutes, so I said I'd keep it short, but here we are. But you know what, I'm relentless, so I'll still keep trying. I still keep saying that I'll try to keep the video short, and we'll keep trying till we get to a point where I can actually just comfortably make a 7 to 8 minute video. So a video where I can actually say everything that I want to say, and it can all be done within 7 to 8 minutes. So alright, so that's all. I will see you all again for those who watch. I hope to make a few more videos before the new year. So I wish you well. Hope you've all had a very Merry Christmas, and until next time, live long and prosper.